Okay. Hello, Megan. Let me check if we're live everywhere. We're on YouTube. How are you?
I'm good. It's a Friday today, so feeling pumped about that. How are you doing?
I'm great. I just have to put myself on mute. Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, we're on. We have a couple of minutes in front of you, but we're on. So. Oh, I do have a music or 2 minutes of music. Oh yeah, let's do that for fun. With music for just that problem of the week. There it is.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know why. I'm when I'm searching a problem in UX problem of the week, I always type like a few keywords. Something around I don't know patterns that we love in enterprise UX and all. But
Hmm.
this was sending me by someone. I don't remember who exactly. Just check it, and I think it'll be interesting because there's a couple of keywords here: filterings, table, tags. So you know, we had to work on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Someone
So,
sent this to you.
yeah, I don't know who exactly. I don't know.
Cool.
I tried to search it. Oh, next time we have to do something not in whimsical, but in Figma. I'm getting better and better. You still master, but I'm getting better and trying to learn from how you quickly draw or put out even a high fidelity concept here is something I want to see more in
Sweet.
general. So yeah, let's start very soon. I'll share it, and when we'll be ready, we can start something. I'll just put myself in full screen. Yeah, and if you see, we're good everywhere.
Yep, I see that. It's
Yeah,
working.
yeah, good.
And you can see my mouse. Cool.
Oh yeah, last time I was not able to see your mouse, and I was
Oh, really?
surprised. Yeah, I don't know why.
Huh.
Indeed.
Huh. Huh.
So let's start something, Megan. Hi, hi, hi. Let's start this problem of the week together. So like I said, someone sent me. I don't know who exactly sent me this, but UZZI sent me this question. Well, asked this question on UX Exchange, and it's about filterings with tags and table. I think
Mm-hmm.
it's
Mm-hmm.
in. We'll have fun. So I'm currently working on filters for our tables. Okay, the tables are quite crowded with information. Good. One of the columns contains a lot of tags, okay, that represent categories. So a lot of tags and categories and columns. Each can be filled with more than 10 tags. Okay, okay.
Mm.
I feel we work on, oh no, we work on tags, but on other projects. So
Mm.
if the user filter on a particular tag category, it can be very difficult to locate it among the rest of the tags in the cell. Oh, yeah. So do you know any patterns or option
Mm.
for displaying only the selected filter tag? Okay, so whatever it is, we can say tags, but it's all about filtering a table, a column,
Mm.
and there's tags or keywords inside a column, and we need to filter it. So what about writing the problem statement together? What do you think? As a user, I want to so that. So what do you think they want to do?
So this person's asking from the perspective of the person building it. But
Yeah.
I think as a user, and this kind of starts hedging on that part a little
Hmm.
bit, is as a user, I want to confirm that the value I'm searching for is in that row.
So is it in that row? I quickly want to
Mm.
scan because it's in the row. It's in somewhere.
Hmm.
It's it's maybe lost in the sea of keywords and tags. So I want.
Definitely searching in general, not just in this particular case, searching through a table, any kind of keyword that the user searches, it's always a good rule of thumb to emphasize um, that piece of information and where it appears. If that way, if I only search part of the phrase and I can see the full phrase, that helps give me context. So I think that's a really good thing to actually strive for, but this one's even more specific.
Yeah.
I actually have a question about, it would be good ideally if we ended up being able to ask why hide the rest, display only the specific filtered tag, because this goes a little bit beyond the normal, normal expectation. I
Mm,
expect my keyword, whether it's a tag or phrase or whatever,
mm.
to be highlighted in some way visually to me. Um, so yeah, I found that an interesting distinction here.
So is the problem is I need to. I completely agree with you, but the task is not
Mhm.
clear exactly. So
Hmm.
is it when they search? Well, when they search something and now they have a list of results and they want to quickly, well, they want to find the row associated with the filter. So is it the real problem? That means that we have to go back to the problem is I'm filtering something.
Hmm.
I'm not so I'm displaying a lot of results. Some will have the keyword as a tag, but surrounded with a lot of different tags. So usually asking to quickly find the keyword filtered, but is it the real task? Do I really want to know which row have this tag? Because the goal is just to filter everything, right?
Hmm. So maybe I'll just take a second.
Mm.
Let me see if I can just do a. Let's see, a quick. How do I do this? Let's just pretend we've got some. I'm just gonna try to map the
As is
thing
experience, yeah, yeah.
name.
Because
Uh,
I want to frame a problem right, because there's multiple ways to solve it. But will it solve the problem?
let's see. Okay, this is weird. Uh, let's say gold, Goldie. This is just some thing, and then if we have some tags, so they said that it could have multiple.
We have tag
Where's
here.
my little tag thingy here?
Yeah,
Okay,
tag.
so
Oh, that would be great.
so we could say gold. Let's just pretend um red.
That's a good thing. If we
Let's
visualize, maybe
just
we'll frame the
pretend.
problem better.
So there could be a bunch more. Actually, can I resize this? Maybe
No, that's a problem with
that's not.
whimsical.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say if I ended up searching gold.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, we have this thingy and this thing, right? These two things. So as a user, when I search gold, I expect to see it appear wherever it's relevant or wherever the results have come, unless I already specifically filtered down to only searching gold in the color column. That's my general
So,
standard
so
expectation.
your assumption is that they are searching in general, not just in one column. They're just searching for gold, for example, and you're filtering the result. Okay.
So
So,
I didn't want to dig into that part, but you're hitting something that's
uh,
really relevant, I think. We have something you could do search multiple ways. You could, depending on how it's set up and what the product is, you could search within a column, just column search, or you might have a some sort of query builder or just generic search for the entire table. The generic keyword search, for example.
so we have
Let's
to
see.
make assumptions right now because,
Mm-hmm.
well, it's pretty hard. So, what do you think we should go with? Is it a column or general search or a facet where you have a list of tags? What do you think?
I I'm inclined to kind of like spread it a bit wider just because um, a lot of these problems disappear, let's say if we just do column search. But it's interesting if it's not a single column search, if it's a generic keyword search, then there's a couple other aspects we should try to keep in mind. So I'm leaning towards thinking about it in terms of generic keyword search first.
Okay.
How about you?
I'll go with that. It's a challenge. It's an interesting challenge. So it could be, this the classic, Apple F or Control F in the page when you're just typing gold and go to the next one, or you're using the actual, system search. So I would say the problem is I want when using the system. Okay, search as a user of the wide search, I want to. So the goal is to, I'm pretty sure there's a next step. It's not just filter. The goal is never to filter. It's to search so I can get to a specific item. I want to get to a specific item using keywords in keywords I searched for, so I can go on with my thing. It's too general. As a user, I want to get to a specific item, so I can complete. I can go forward with my task. So I'm pretty sure. Let's make a substitution also that there's an action somewhere here. Just action. I don't know what it is. Just action.
Yeah. So I can do that once I find the things I want.
Exactly. So just like that. Okay. So as a user, I want to get a specific item. I want to get to a specific item. Okay. So when I'm searching for gold, there's a couple of things that is played. Now, the problem is sometimes you can have like way too much.
Yeah, which we're kind of restricted here by whimsical, but we'll just pretend.
Can I? If I'm
Bunch.
putting
Can
spaces, it's kind of working. Okay.
Okay.
It's good enough. So that's true. If we have gold, 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 red, and all different tags, it can be overwhelming. Okay.
It's a lot.
Okay. Let's do a lot of tags. Okay. But like you said, it's not just tags. The problem is it's everywhere. Let's focus on tags. Let's find if it can be scaled for every values in the data table. Just let's keep that in our mind. Okay, so that's the as is. Let's just duplicate it just for fun because we'll have to work on something else. Okay.
So this will be our first exploration.
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in this case, and we're gonna just go with what they're talking about, display only the filtered tag and hide the rest. Now we don't know what the intention is behind this, but that only works. Maybe actually that's a really good thing to discover. That only works for single column search, because to hide all of the things that don't say gold in it, it would affect too much if it was a keyword search, right? So
the assumption now is just filtering a column.
Only works for single column search. So I think for exploration 1, if we do keyword, we wouldn't hide. We would only hide some of the other. We could say one value per column, for example.
But let's think about the scalability here. Goldie is an example. Are you hiding John?
No, so each column would have at least one value.
Oh, I got it. So if
But you know
there's a
what? Saying that out loud, I don't feel good about that, because here
mm,
we can see in Goldie no color here appears. So do we leave red and then just not highlight it? So I think we're kind of coming to a decision here, right? Hiding only works for single column search.
well, I think it's difference between there's two kind of outcomes or even behavior when you're using a wide search and a filter by column search.
Mm.
If you're using a wide search, uh, bring me anything that have this keyword, whatever it is, bring it to me. And
Mm-hmm.
so if there's, I think you're right. If there's a value in one row that have gold, display the row. You have to display the row. The
Mm.
thing is, will I now hide things and just display gold? That's kind of a weird.
Yeah.
So the white search is I'll display you just the result I have with gold in it. It could be tag, it could be this, could be that. Okay, great. It could be a filter anyway. It could be a filter on the right and say, filter colors. The problem is still the same. Is it wide or a column filter? The problem is there's way too much tag in one column, for example, or way too much gold everywhere. There's never too much gold in general. But there's too much gold everywhere. So the goal is to hide things. But how you decide to hide things, that's the real challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when you're doing a wide search on a table, I'm not sure if it's possible to hide things. No.
I'm not feeling it. Um, you know,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's as a user, I don't want my data to disappear, especially if we have a data table. A lot of the times it gives us context. What
Hmm.
I think if we are, and we can go into the single column in a second, but
Yeah, yeah. I think we'll have to do it
yeah,
with the next
but
one.
if this is the case, display what I've searched.
Hmm.
We just emphasize. So
And
it's emphasized like this, emphasized here, and then the other items could maybe potentially take a back seat.
yeah. So I absolutely agree with you. So let's do the other assumption now that is
Yeah.
filtering by columns here.
Yeah.
So let's say we have
So we can
can I add
remove
oh I could.
this.
Okay, filter. Filter. So I could put something like this with a little icon or notification. I already filtered with something.
Mm.
Okay, let's say I filtered with one or two filters. Let's say we I don't know how exactly to do that well in whimsical.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that I did filter something, whatever is the mechanism. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
right now it's just a column. Let's play with that and let's go with that just for fun. Uh, yeah. Okay, good. So now, so
Now
now,
we can assume Goldie, this would not appear in the results actually.
absolutely. So let's
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Which is
um,
great.
that's great. Still, the problem is there's a lot of tags.
Let me. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, that is true.
Because that's the problem. There's too much tags, and I want to quickly find, which one.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a real problem, by the way? What do you think?
I mean, when they say that there could be more than 10, um, maybe the value is not returned. If there's, like, let's say there's 56 tags for some reason, and I want to know why is John here? If this says
Hmm.
plus, 58 more, whoopsies,
Oh, that could be interesting, by the way.
right? It could have something like this, and then we can emphasize
Yeah.
gold, and then there's 58 more. So that's an option.
But the problem statement, and I think the goal is to, yeah, please. But I kind of know that I want to know what items have gold. I
Mm-hmm.
know that now. I need to decide which one should I choose.
Yeah.
That's the goal. So hiding everything else, hiding all the tags, kind of defeat the goal.
Yeah.
You showed me all the items with gold, but you're not helping me. I need all of the other tags. So that's why I'm questioning if there's a problem, because if
Mm.
the goal is to locate an item, if you hide every other tags, the tags are not useful in general. What's the point of having tags if you're using tags as a way to scan and recognition and helping you, knowing all the meta information. If you're hiding tags, what's the goal exactly?
I mean, oh, here's another solution. We do something with truncating, so we can show the first item gold, and
Hmm.
then there's a couple more for a little bit of context. They'll have to decide the logic there, because if there's 60 tags, do you just show the next couple
Hmm.
alphabetically? How do you want to show them? And maybe we can make the assumption that there's a couple other columns here that they'll be comparing to. It might not necessarily be in the tag column, because they could actually make this two things. Maybe they're searching for, actually maybe this is better.
Just to be sure, I kind of feel where you're going, but right now
Hmm.
what they said is if I use filters on a particular tag, it can be very difficult to locate it among the rest of the tags in the cell. Okay, so okay, you're right. Um, are we removing the rows that don't include the tags? That's an assumption that we're making. We're not sure. I think it should make sense, right? You're
Yeah.
removing the filter. So that's one. I think we should at least capture that as a design rationale. Um,
Yeah.
remove rows items that don't include your search terms. That's one.
Yep.
And now, what's the problem exactly? Because before, maybe the assumption was I'm not hiding any rows. I'm just,
Hmm.
in phasing, like you said, what rows have the tag. But if I'm hiding everything, there's there's no problem anymore, right?
Yeah, like I would really expect this guy to not be here. Goldie.
Exactly.
Goldie would
So,
not be here. Goldie doesn't count.
and so now you don't have to differentiate between your keyword and the other, no, your tag and the other tags, because the goal is I'll use whatever else, all other columns, other tags to make a choice.
Mm.
So I think the assumption was I'm not hiding any rows, but there's too much, so I need to scan for the gold tags. But what we're saying is no, no. If you're filtering, hide the results that are not, tied to the filters, right? I think
Yeah.
that's it's too easy. I feel it's too easy. What where we're wrong? Where do you think we're wrong? It's because it feel too easy now.
Well, the thing is, we might. It could be that when this question was written, there might not have been a decision yet on if it was a keyword search or if it was a single column search.
Yeah.
And we went through that journey ourselves as well, because once we get to decide, okay, we're deciding to narrow this down, it's single column search, that the problem changes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But if
Yeah.
we're doing keyword search, the problem's a little bit different.
So what I would do, let's go back to this one then. Okay. What idea I have is to have like find next type of things. I don't know how to um, show me next. Find there's something like that in search when you're searching for a word in document and you say go to the next word, go to the next word, to the next word, the next word, and so the interface will scroll and will bring you to where's the word, this kind of behavior.
Mm,
And I think
mm-hmm.
maybe that could be a way to quickly go where you have a row with gold.
I think so, but technically all of the rows, once I hit search, all of the rows will contain gold.
That,
Now,
yeah,
and then it would just go down every single row and it would hop between maybe the name column, the tags column, the whatever other columns. But
yeah.
if we had a query builder,
If we have the query builder, we're changing the problem.
we're
I'm not
changing the problem, but
problem
I think the problem, what we're kind of solidifying here is based on how we're going to do the search, the problem's going to totally change and how we're going to show the table.
exactly. So if you're filtering, I don't see the point of displaying item that doesn't contain your your filter. That's so I think that's one part of the problem that we can say. You're filtering. That's the best practice, because you ask about the best practice. Do you know any patterns or options for displaying only the selected filter tag? Well, if you're asking for patterns, if you're filtering, show me only items that contain your filter categories. That's for one.
Show me only those ones and also emphasize that value,
For sure.
which is dependent on your search. Because if your search is single column, then you're only showing that value in that column.
If
it's keyword or query builder, then we're starting to touch on other things.
Yeah, I'll write that. Search. Good. So now let's take the assumption that they are not hiding anything like a wide search. For me, it's pretty much the same thing for the unfaces. You do have to unface, of course, but now it's not a problem of. It's maybe a problem of navigation to go to the next item that have your search criteria. That's one of my solutions. You have something else? What do you think?
I feel like this could be fuzzy. So let's say hiding only works for single, because we still, I mean, a decision still needs to be made if there's plus 58 here. It could be decided that if there's a tag, it just comes to the front. Otherwise, if I'm
You're
jumping,
right.
it highlights John. That's the same problem. I'm thinking, where is it? Unless, wait, here's another wild,
Hmm.
side branch. Unless once I highlight that row, which will be every row in my search results will have this.
Somehow. Yeah.
That row expands, for example, and then maybe you see all the data for that row, and you can make your decisions that way. But that's a totally different interaction experience.
Exactly.
If it works if I want to look at a row, spend a moment, I'm looking at this as a whole. I'm not just interacting only with the table. I'm actually zoning into this row for some reason for myself in order to spend a very intentional time looking at it and making my decision about the action. Um, which some cases it works, some cases you just want to quickly go down and compare everything in your table. So
Huh. Very, very interesting. I feel like we are struggling because the question is not well articulated, and maybe they are trying to fix a problem that they don't have to fix. Meaning, if you're searching for a term or a tag, you're not hiding all other tags. What's the point in doing that? You're just hiding items that don't have this tag. Now there's a second problem. There's too much tags. So there's two problems of the week today: is how you search for a tag or keyword, and if there's too much, how you display that. And so whatever the case is, sometime in a column we'll have too many tags in general. So is there a quick win or quick way to whatever how we search, filter or just global search, that we can make the tagging experience in a column a little bit more useful?
could you rephrase that?
I mean, We have tons of tags. That's the problem. We have too much tags. If it's
Mm,
searching or not searching, there's too much tags. This is what I feel with the problem. There's a lot of tags.
mm,
So whatever we're searching for something or just scanning it, maybe we're just scanning the result and there's too much tags, or we're searching for something, a lot of result, and we still need to scan the result to find out, what it is. The problem is too many tags. And so if we're searching for a tag and phasing it will be very useful. But if there's too many tags, how we can improve that? I think this is mainly the problem, to
yeah,
improve the experience of too many tags in the column.
yeah. I think that's a really good point because, like, even looking here right now at John,
Yeah,
this is nowhere close to
the 10
15,
tag.
20
Yeah,
tags,
exactly.
50, 60, but it's already quite a few pieces of information. And if we only have 3 rows here, but let's say I'm looking at tables, they'll have 20, 30 rows. I'm scrolling down
I'm
50.
sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
Um, and they're searching for something so they can execute an action. I think the missing piece here is return before they start searching. Once they search, it's different. Um, before they start searching, we don't want to show 10, 20, 30 tags. It's not helping them.
It's no, exactly.
The the hard part is from the business perspective, they'll have to decide what, maybe 3 tags. What's the logic of 3 tags that will help with this scanning activity? And if not, they search, and again, maybe those searches appear, and then it's like plus 30. They can investigate by going to that page. Maybe there's an
Mm.
expanding thing.
So it's a common UX situation that we are in. Someone is asking us to display all this information, and we suddenly discovered that it was way too much information. And so they're asking UX designer, can you tweak it and make it beautiful so this too much information is just enough? Well, the problem is not exactly that. It's maybe what is just enough information, and we may need to think about it. How enough tags is, what's the ideal number, and what it means to have enough tags or whatever. And this, I'm not sure we can help here, because that's a real problem now, is why there's 20. Why do you have to show all the 20 tags? And because we don't know it, you know let's say everyone is important, equally important. Well, we had to display them. If we found out that it's more the most popular category, maybe, or the category that has the most items, or whatever, we can slowly create the tags column and just display, the one that is most useful for the user. So I think that's the problem. But I don't have a way in my mind right now quickly of displaying multiple tags in a row in a table in a beautiful way. I don't see that. When we find a user interface where there's more than 4 or 5 tags per columns, for me it's a red flag. What's happening here? Why there's too much? And now maybe tags are not the right components. Maybe something else. Maybe keywords. Maybe do they have to be tags?
Mm.
Can they be something else? And why do I need to display everything when I just need to change the category, for example? If, for example, I have a lot of blog posts and I have like 100 categories in my blog, why do I need, huh? Think about you're displaying all of your blog posts, but what you want to display is all the hashtags. Can be a lot. And you're
Mm-hmm.
searching by hashtags. But the goal is it to change your hashtag or to find a specific item?
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I think those are really good questions. And it really depends on the business and their
Really depends on
goals.
business.
Like, you know, I'm just putting something here. This is just for food for thought. But let's say if here, up here,
Hmm.
if we're facilitating a scanning kind of activity, which
Hmm.
sometimes some platforms need to do, then they have to make a decision about how to put the most relevant items first. This could be keyword search, this could be a single column search, and then they'll do the action. Other platforms, they want to do something much more methodical. After they apply the first search, then they're going to spend more than 1 second looking at each row. And in that case, we could have an expanding and contracting sort of situation. Here's John, let's pretend. And then before they decide to do their action,
Whatever. Yeah.
they might see a bunch of other things going on that will help them make that decision. They're going to spend a good solid 2-3 minutes, maybe, I don't know, checking it out, action. Then they go to the next thing, take a look, review. That one's a totally different interaction and solution. Excuse me.
So your solution is something like there's a lot of tags. I click a read more or expand or something, so I can see all the tags for this specific item. It's more, readable and useful and scannable items by items. But with a group of 10, 20 items, with in each of them too many tags, it's kind of very complex. So there's two-step here. Okay,
Yeah.
what should I look? What item I should peek a little bit more at? Click on it, have more tags, then decide.
Well, yeah, I
Mm.
think the
I see what you mean.
search interaction as well as the product itself, which we don't know, but because I've seen both of these cases,
Yeah,
you'll want to do
same.
one or the other. Um, it depends on the product and what the user is actually trying to achieve. If they're trying to scan quickly, they're not, they're gonna go by bulk or whatever. Then this kind of method I've seen is much more reasonable. And then this sort of method down here where you open and take a look at that actual row and take a deeper look. um, Sometimes some businesses and some users, they just need that, and it's intentional. This is their zone, and they're going to work methodically through whatever they ended up searching.
I love it. Let's go back to the problem. Let's do a summary, but I think we're getting there. So the problem from UZ was, well, there's a lot of tags in the columns. I want to get to a specific item using keywords I search for, and so I can go on with my task. Great. So we just, did something as is right now as okay, how it could be, but we quickly find out there's maybe multiple way to search, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's the wide search and maybe the filter column search. So you said something great about if we're doing a wide search, we're not hiding any items. We're just in phase on the keywords that they could hear as searches. Or if we're filtering, we're hiding rows. But the problem, whatever it is the experience of you know reading or having way too much tags. So the real problem is how you can display tags. And what you uh, what you brought is, well, we have to make a decision, a business decision, and why there's too much tags, and how we can, you know, create them in a way so there's just a couple of tags, and make the decision to look deeper into an items and then make a decision. So yes, we're hiding the tags, but we're giving them a way to see all the tags items by items. So a quick scan, and then some kind of a read more. There's multiple ways we can do that. We can click have a model, we can click have a read more and expand. What else do we have? So many things, but we have to think about why there's so many tags and think about how we can deliver the most important tags, more relevant and meaningful tags, and then provide a better way to navigate. Whatever, if you're searching or not. If you're not searching or searching, problem's still the same, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Anything to add here? What you should be caution about? Any warnings? Good practices?
No, well, I think you covered the bulk of it. Just want to highlight these two things that we did go over.
Oh yeah,
Regardless of the number of tags or what other things, generally, once I search something, the result I do as a user want it to be emphasized so I can quickly pick it out.
absolutely. Yeah.
And also just remove the rows that don't apply to the search result. If they're not one of the results, just hide it, and that'll help with a lot of things as well.
It will help a lot. And now think about how we can design better tagging display or whatever. But yeah, if you just do that, that's good enough. That's great improvement, I think. Good. Thank you again. That was fun.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah. So if you have any problem like that, you can contact us on the website or social everywhere. On a comment, give us your problem, and we'll geek around it for free for a couple of minutes, and we'll share it to you. So thank you again, Megan, and see you next week.
All right.